Hello, and welcome to the Lunacast Game Quest. It's me on my own tonight because we're changing up Thursdays. As you know, Sundays is when we do our main Lunacast. Yes, the world's number one and most popular for the tiny amount of audience that we have, Amazon Luna podcast. But Thursdays, we're going to sort of keep all the news for Sunday and make Thursdays all about the game, which is in the name. It's why it's called Game Quest. So we're going to take it in turns every week, Duncan and I, to stream a game. And tonight I thought that I would stream Watch Dogs Legion from Ubisoft, because of course coming up on Tuesday of next week, 11/10, as it is November. I get this wrong every time. November the 10th. Ubisoft channel live on Amazon Luna for everybody that has early access. And apparently a whole bunch of new invites have gone out today. I did predict last Sunday, if you go back and watch the show, I did predict there would be a mass mail out before the launch of the Ubisoft channel. For obvious reasons, they need as many people as possible accessing Luna. So hopefully you got that magic email, or it's on its way to you. So do check your inboxes. So I'm going to just do the usual preamble for a couple of minutes, get some guys in so that we can get moving on this. I haven't tweeted it. I tweeted it earlier. So you'll if you come across me, thank you for coming across. But also Duncan's doing another show in his own channel, and I really didn't want to step on his toes. So we'll just keep this one between us. It's perfectly fine. Hopefully you can hear me okay. So as you can see on the screen, Watchdog Legions. So in a couple of minutes time, I'll press the old video and we'll go proper live. This won't make it to the podcast because playing a game, not much to see really when you're only listening. But it's, as I say, it's going to be one of the launch titles on the Ubisoft channel, which launches next Tuesday, and of course is the exclusive Amazon Luna version of the brand new rebranded Ubisoft Plus. At this moment in time, we don't know exactly how many games will be there for a Ubisoft Plus subscriber to play, but certainly north of, I think they've sort of said 50, but that would be from launch proper. But it could well be that amount. We'll soon see. But one of them definitely is Watch Dogs Legion, because it launched last week, October 29th. And therefore we know it's definitely going to be there. Right. I'm going to press the button. Let's get the old VT going, and we'll get stuck into the game proper. So you know the drill. Here we go. Run VT. Hello, good day to you. Hi, how are you? Hope you're well. We're almost at the end of the week, the best time of the week coming up Friday. Right, so as you can see, it's only me tonight. This is the new version, the regular version of Amazon Lunacast Game Quest. And the idea is that we will stream a live game every week that is available on either Luna Plus or the forthcoming Ubisoft channel, which of course launches on November the 10th. That's next Tuesday, I believe. It launches with big celebration Valhalla. So Assassin's Creed Valhalla will be launching, the big Viking historical epic, which I am so looking forward to. But they launched last Friday, October 29th, with Watch Dogs Legion. So that's a brand new title. It'll be there if you have the Ubisoft channel. It'll be there for you on Tuesday. So I thought, as a little tribute, we'd play some tonight and just kind of whet your appetite, get you in the mood, as it were. And, I might even throw in a little London accent, a little bit of that. Know what I mean? We shall see. But yes, so Ubisoft channel launches next Tuesday. In order to access the channel, you need to subscribe through Ubisoft. It's called Ubisoft Plus. And then that gets you access to all the games that will be streamed out of the Ubisoft channel. And as I say, we know 100% that's at least 2 games, Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Watch Dogs Legion. I'm sure there are plenty more. It's advertised as having 50 plus. There's over 100 on the PC version of Ubisoft Plus. So I think you can certainly expect a few more than that. I would argue probably all of the Assassin's Creeds, all of the Far Cries. Of course, Far Cry 6 coming out next year. It was due to come out just after into January, but they've put it back, or they've said they've put it back until April, which is a shame. Having said that, of course, it could launch with the full version of Amazon Luna. Who knows? So let's get stuck in. So I'm obviously not playing this on Amazon Luna because, well, one, I'm in the UK and we haven't got it yet, and 2, Watch Dogs Legion and the Ubisoft channel haven't launched yet. But it don't matter none, because the version I'm going to be playing will be very similar in terms of graphics and so on. So I thought we would tuck in. So I'm going to flick it over to a... Oh, I just spotted something on the screen that I meant to say. You've probably been sitting here watching, looking at that banner that says Movember with a URL and wondering what it is. What that is let me pull myself back here. Whoop, there you go. So you may have noticed in past episodes, I've had a bit more of a full beard. It's actually not looking so bad at the moment. I could live with this. But I'm regrowing the beard for November on behalf of Movember, the charity. They are a men's health charity. They raise a load of money around the world, both in the UK and in the US and other countries, Australia, which I think is where the charity started. And the concept is you grow a big old mustache and raise money for men's health. So that's cancer and other forms of men's prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and mental health. Really good cause. So there's the URL. It's men911 bit.ly/men911. So if you do want to just maybe drop a $5 in there, it goes straight to the charity. You'll see it goes straight to their website. Nothing to do with me, but that will be hugely appreciated. So thank you very much for that. So we'll hide that now, but thank you for humoring me, and let me leave that up there. Also, before we go any further, I just need to thank this wonderful troupe. This is our Patreons and our subscribers. So thank you to all of these guys. There may even be 1 or 2 more in the week. But if you feel like sponsoring us, subscribing or becoming a patron, all the money goes to delivering the best possible content. And of course, we love you for it. So thank you to these guys and to you if you also want to help out and jump in. So that's that one. And now let's actually take a look at the Watch Dogs Legion. So I've got it. I've been playing probably about, I don't know, 8 hours, something like that. Do let me know in the chat, by the way, if this is too loud or too quiet. I've got it at 50% volume, but I can always adjust it if you need me to. Yep, so I've been playing this now since it came out, on and off, a couple of hours a day. It came out, as I said, on October the 29th, which was the back end of last week, about a week ago. So I've probably played about 10 hours of it, I guess. If you've never played a Watch Dogs before, this is the 3rd in the season. Each one is set in a different town. I think it's Chicago, the first one. The second one, I believe, is San Francisco. And the 3rd one here is set in London, which obviously I know very well. I've been up there many times. I can only just quickly say, if the screen is a bit choppy, that I promise you that has nothing to do with the game. That's the system that I'm using here to stream it to you. But hopefully it won't look too bad. And yeah, so it's all set in London. The idea behind the game is it's kind of you versus Big Brother. So there's a bigger power in all three games, and you're a sort of an anonymous, if you like, group of hackers. And you can see as I wander around here that there's a white line that seems to join up on everything as I move around. That signifies that I can hack. So I can hack an individual if I hold down. There you go. So in this case, I could distract this individual. You'll see there's actually 4 tiles on that diamond. So I haven't progressed the character yet to the point where I can add any more in. But in the other games, you can actually hack into their bank accounts and take a ton of money. You can make their phones explode. There's all sorts of stuff you can do. But the whole idea of the game is essentially, as I've said, you progress your character. You can actually... if I go up to most of these characters, you can recruit them into DedSec, which is the kind of gang that you are running with to try and take down the bigger authority, the man. Hey Lee, how are you? Thanks for joining. It's great to see you. At least I no longer am on my own here. But the whole game is, as I've said, based in London, and I have to say, let's just have a quick look at the map. If I zoom out, this is just the area that I've obviously been around, but you can see that actually, if I take it all the way around the edges here, there's room for it to get bigger. This is central London, in essence, covers. So, for example, if I zoom in a bit, there we go. So there's Big Ben. That's instantly recognizable from wherever you are in the world. In fact, there we go. So the Palace of Westminster, where our esteemed government meet to pass laws, legislation, debate, and generally look a bunch of idiots. There is the London Eye. It's now in the game. It's called the Millennium Wheel, which is what it was originally called. It went up at the turn of the century, the year 2000, hence the millennium, or the start of the millennium. But the map is really good. It's actually it's not it's not as big as actual central London, but to be fair, it's not tiny either. There's Buckingham Palace, where our Queen lives. Yeah, it's really, to be fair, it's her official residence, Buckingham Palace. I always say to my daughters, it's her office, because she prefers to live either in Windsor Castle, which is just down the road, about a 30-minute drive, or flight in her private chopper, or Balmoral, which is a house in Scotland. As you can imagine, a fairly large house in Scotland, where it's her favourite place to go. And Buckingham Palace and Balmoral were both built by her great great grandmother, I believe, Queen Victoria. So you could literally do a tour of London. I could be that man that takes you around London and says, yep, there's the British Museum. Yeah, inside there, they've got, I'm trying to think if I've been to the British Museum. I think that's where they've got the Rosetta Stone and a load of stuff they nicked from Greece that they really ought to give back. But yeah, so it's all going on. Let's say that they've done a good job, Barbican Centre. They've done a really good job. So you can go to all the places like St. Paul's Cathedral, which is there, that you may or may not have heard of. I'll tell you what is good fun, actually, in the game, is going up on the big wheel, on Millennium Wheel. And I don't know, but you can fast travel on tube stations. London's famous for its tube. So we could actually fast travel to that tube and go up on the wheel. And it does a proper little, almost identical experience to if you ever do buy a ticket, go up on the London Eye. Oops. It's almost an identical experience. It's quite clever. I've done it a few times. Let's have a look and see where the embankment is. Actually, you can see it through here, go across the bridge, and I think it's the other side of the bridge over here. But you can hack everything. If you think of it as a sort of a futuristic GTA in a sense, but with a sort of more serious science fiction type story. There it is up there. So in essence, yeah, you can take over vehicles and bash into pedestrians as you run past and all that stuff. There you go. Let's go and get on the old London Eye, shall we? You can. You've also got a a it's a bot, it's a drone, but it's in the shape of a spider, which is pretty cool. Unless you're an arachnophobe, of course. If you've got a fear of spiders, then you're not going to like it at all. One of my daughters does. She was not impressed. But it's pretty cool for going into places that you can't get to. You can even jump on flying drones that pass by and use them to fly yourself across London, take a little guided tour. So yeah, like a lot of the Ubisoft games, where there is kind of a map or some history or something, you can just tell they take a massive amount of time to put in the research, and that's certainly the case here. So Lee, it's just you and me, mate. I don't mind. We just the thing is, we used to do these earlier in the evening, and it just occurred to me that because it's during the week, most of our American friends are still at work, and you still are, in truth. So we decided we'd put it on a little bit later. Now then, what's going on over here? Oh, look, he's getting beaten up. I think I'll rescue him. There we go. Now I'm going to be chased. So easy to get away from the baddies. I don't know. I'm trying to think what they're called. This is my problem. I'm not massively into game lore. I'm not one of these that will sit there and read masses and masses of background to the story. There you go. It's going blue. So this is an exact replica of the London Eye, and I mean, genuinely, it is. I've been on it a few times. These buildings here, they exist. You can buy yourself a coffee or a crepe or whatever. And the anchors for the eye, which go through the floor, deep into the earth, but this actually exists. These cables, all of this is 100% accurate. If you ever do come and you want to go on it, I would highly recommend purchasing your ticket ahead of time, though. The queues can be ridiculous, even if you've got a ticket. And there are discounts as well if you buy ahead of time. So let's go on and in. So the minute you go inside, it starts up, which is pretty cool. And normally there's about 15 people in there, all crammed in, speaking various languages, of course, because they're all tourists like us. But what you can do with this, which I love, is you can just choose to go to the camera on top of your pod. But this is so spooky because it is genuinely identical. And I think I'm right in saying that David Blaine, when he was in London doing one of his magic tricks, I think it was hanging or on top of a podium or something. I think it was here. It was this area. But there's the Shaft, tallest building in London, only by virtue of the fact there's some bits at the top that poke out. It's quite cool because as you go higher, you can obviously start to... There's St. Paul's right there, St. Paul's Cathedral. Hello, Becky. Hello, my sweet pea, my eldest there. That there was Telecom Tower. They put something on the top of it here, but it used to be BT Tower. And before that, I think it was the Post Office Tower. So that's all to do with our sort of biggest telephone network provider. Let me see. There's the Gherkin. I don't think it's called the Gherkin, by the way, but that's what everybody calls it, that kind of orange thing there. It looks like a giant munition, like a huge bullet. The eponymous cranes, there are always a ton of cranes, as you can imagine, when you go up on the old London Eye. And there's Big Ben. Big Ben in real life doesn't have all that stuff on the outside, but this is, 2025 or whenever. It's the Palace of Westminster, or where the House of Commons and the House of Lords sit. So we have our political system. We have our members of Parliament that sit in one area and they debate and push through legislation, and then it goes up to the other house, as they call it, which is the House of Lords. And that's where people are given lordships. They're not elected in any way, shape or form. And it's their job to scrutinise the bill and send it back for changes or rubber stamp it before it gets ascension by the Queen. which is all, as you can imagine, mainly processed these days. Most things get put through. As you can see, we're right on the edge of the River Thames, and it genuinely is that brown. It's a fairly murky looking river, but it has a deceptively fast current, so I would highly recommend never jumping in unless you're doing it to be one of the very last things you ever do, because I promise you it will be. There's Battersea Power Station, those 4 chimneys with the lights on top. It's now being used to be a power station, fed one massive area of London, and now it's been converted into accommodation. There we go. That's like your main view of London, but this is pretty much what you're going to see if you do decide to go up on the London Eye, which I can highly recommend, but it isn't cheap. Can't remember how much it is now, but be prepared to shed a couple of $100 if you're taking a family up. Which, these days there's an Xbox Series X. There's that's the actual IMAX theatre there right in the middle of the road. That IMAX. I think I've been in there. I can't remember. Anyway, let's leave the Eye. So it's quite weird when you're in the pod. It goes very slowly just to give you more time to take in the view, but it never stops. So when it comes down to the ground and the doors open, you don't have to be quick, because it's not going fast at all, but you certainly don't want to hang around, because otherwise you go back up again, which I think they don't mind if you do, but you probably don't want to. All right, so I'm going to exit. There we go. Oops, wrong one. So yeah, so that's the London Eye there. This is turning into a little trip of London, isn't it? That yellow octagon, is it? I'm not sure. Whatever that shape is, sorry. That is my mission. So what I'll do is I will set the GPS route from the old London Eye. We'll kick out from there and get ourselves down to the road, see if we can't find a car or a bike or something, and make our way out to the mission. So there you go. London Eye trip done, or Millennium Wheel as it was called. I think the London Eye, I think they didn't call it the London Eye because it's trademarked. It's actually managed. I don't know if it's owned by, but it's managed by the Merlin PLC, which is a huge. You've heard of Madame Tussauds or Two Swords, depends how you pronounce it. They exist in the States as well, and it's waxworks, mate. You're never going to drive. You keep what's he doing? But they own those, and they own a number of theme parks in the UK and through Europe, and I believe they've started to purchase in the States as well. So yeah, there's plenty of Weatherspoons in there, Stephen, as you know. Is that a dog? Do you know, I was just thinking to myself, I don't think I've seen it. Everybody looks like they've soiled their underpants the way they walk around in this game. I don't think the character models are brilliant, but I was just thinking, I don't think I've ever seen anybody walking a dog. And trust me, people do own dogs in London. Now what I'm going to do, I don't want to nick a car, so that's English slang for steal. I don't want to nick a car, right? I want to find one on the side of the road, don't I? Because if I nick one, you're nicked. We'll get chased by the authorities. So here's the city of Westminster. This essentially is where it all goes down. The biggest bunch of Muppets you've ever heard meet and do their thing in there. Having said that, some of them are very nice. My local MP is an absolute diamond. I know him personally. He's a good guy. Right, so down the side roads, typically where you find cars and bikes and stuff, and even if you don't, you can always steal one, and you've got less chance of being seen. There's one over there. I knew there would be. I knew there'd be a car over here. Get in there, you muppet. and other. That's actually a dying accent. That's the London accent that I grew up knowing. But if you go to London these days, you will hear a different accent that has become very prominent, which is it's a blend. It's a cosmopolitan London accent. It's a kind of blend of traditional London accent with some North African and some Caribbean as well. I think they call it Jafracan. It has a proper name. I just can't remember what it's called. You hear the bobbies. Do you know, there's so many of those terms, aren't there, Holtz, that nobody uses anymore. Nobody ever says, watch out for the bobbies. Yeah, they might have done in 1960. But these things become cliche, don't they? Oh, yes, they do. So the other thing that I would love, but it isn't a thing, I swear blind it was a thing in the earlier Watch Dogs, is you've got a fixed view when you're in the car or on a bike. I love in GTA where you can you can go into the dash, go into the car itself and view it as if it's a racing game. But that can't be done in certainly not in this version of Watch Dogs anyway. You do have the eponymous radio though. I adore classical, so that's why you're hearing it in this car. It will remember your channel selection. Bit of Tchaikovsky. Get on them keys, my man. But they they have, as you can imagine, all sorts of music. All of it, most of it, is British in origin, and they've even got radio stations as well that are specifically recorded. I think they're well-known broadcasters, but when I listened to it, I didn't know who they were. I got carried away there, just driving around, gone past where my mission takes place. It was up here somewhere. Let's have a little look. There it is. Right, we'll park up. Come back and get this one in a second. There she is. I always choose female characters in whatever game I'm playing. Just a thing that I've kind of, when you get to that point where you go to choose, I just always want mine to be female. And why not? Now then, so we have to get into this building, enter the sandstone residence with a drone. So there's the clue. So I need to look out for a now I do have a drone, or you can just find one kicking around and hijack it. That one wasn't hijackable. So let's choose one of my own. Let's see what we got here. I think that's a drone. Let's pop it out. Oh no, that was not a drone. Ideally what you want is the cargo drone. Busies. Yeah, and yes, the busies. Indeed. That's what they say in Liverpool for the police. The busies. The busies are coming. Do you know what I miss? I don't know if you're old enough, actually, Olds, but when I was a bit younger, one of my favourite shows was Brookside. I loved that show. By Phil Redmond, who also, as I'm sure you know, wrote Grange Hill. Another massive favourite of my time. Oh, I've got to get a drone. No, that one neither. So what about that little fella? He looks like he's hackable. Boop. Oh, I've run out of... You only get so much charge, and then you have to let it... Here we go. That one is. Right. This is one of the big ones that you can use to actually fly it around. They don't go very fast, but it's great fun. All right, let's just park it there. Now I turn around and jump on top. And look down to hijack it. There we go. And we're off. So it doesn't let you go super high, but you certainly go rooftop height. Just like Mary Poppins, innit? Mary Poppins 2044. Right, so we got to go into here. I'm guessing there's a window or something. The other side. Let's go down. Have a little butcher's hook, as they say in London. Butcher's hook, Cockney rhyming slang for look. Let's have a look. Butcher's hook. Right, if I jump in there, see now. Go on in. In you go. Go on. Do I need to get closer? Probably I need to jump off. So I take them right to the edge. There you go. And then I can just turn around. There you go. Now, go on in. There. What? What do you mean, Osh? Get in there, Gil. What? What is the point in saying, unless there's another open window? Unless I've got to shove my little droney robot in there. Let's do that. Let's pop him in there. There he goes. Hijack that. Where's it gone? I'm absolutely convinced I'm supposed to be going in here. It's not like she's 7 feet tall or anything. And you can only crouch like that. All right, I'll throw another robot down. Where's my last robot? What happened to him? It's refueling, look. It's been a busy old week, isn't it? I don't know if, like me, you've been glued to CNN or other news channels are available. Right, I've almost got me little bot back. Almost 24/7 in my case. I'm absolutely shattered. Right, here we go. So, and stand back so that you can, there he is. Zip. There we go, right. So, locate the security system. Yeah, as I say, if you're an arachnophobe, you're not going to like these very much, are you? The thing is, I think I can go on. Yeah, can I go under there? No. Damn, I thought that would be really cool. They will see you. And you can take people out as well. I think we're okay, though. It doesn't look as it looks like they're all having a snooze. Okay, we're going to go down this grate. That's great. It's great, that grate. And around the bend. Once around the river bend. Now, there's something you see in every English house. A suit of armour. Excuse me. Apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. Yeah, so the one thing about this, funny enough, Holtz, I think you mentioned this as well. They seem to think everyone in Britain is constantly swears. I do my fair bit, it has to be said, but everybody in this game, literally, maybe that's what they've determined. You can arm traps this thing. Let's hack that one. There you go. So anybody, including me, so I've got to be careful, that walks into that barrier is going to get electrocuted, which is quite useful actually if you want to try and lure enemies out so that you can clear the path stealth-like. There's another one there. We'll arm that one while we're here. Whoa, get out of it. Right. Let's look on the map. So technically, we're where we should be. Call spider bot. What's the point in that? We are the spider bot. So it must be below. But they've also put a grate here, which they must have put there for a purpose. So let's investigate the grate. Or was it just taking us? Aha, here we go. Yeah, see, they always leave little clues in games, don't they? And we've got to hack this, I guess. Before we do that, we've got to see where that red line goes. And there's also something else there that I'm quite keen to pick up. Not sure what that was. Let's see if we can jump up here. There we go. My guess is that we need to disarm it by following this red line, which takes us to a power source, and see if the yeah, apologies for talking over the story. Two reasons for that. One, I don't want to give you too many spoilers, and two, I tend to skip dialogues, particularly in this game, because I think the acting's not great. So yeah, the idea is that you have to follow the red route. Now, obviously, having set these traps, there you go. We need to turn them off. Right, okay. And then, as you can see, these are quite cool. You can rotate these to send the power via whatever route that you wish to take it to take. Now, I think, did we do it? Almost. So there's another rotation point there, I think. Let's see. That one just seems to come to a dead end, doesn't it? Which is a bit odd, because if it's a dead end, you'd expect the PC to be hackable at that point. Okay, let's change it so that the blue ends up here somehow. So we'll rotate that one back. Doop, 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 doop. No, didn't mean to do that many times. One more. Power in from down there, power across there, power down this way. And then it goes up there, doesn't it? I think. So we need to change. No, we need a rotator, really, because that's just going to block it. Let's turn that off because we don't want to blow ourselves up. Let's have a look down here and see where it goes. Okay. Well, that's made a connection. Some of these are locked as well, but there's no blue. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so we have to obviously make the path. That one's locked. Let's try turning it back the other way. And spin that one. There we go. Now we can unlock that one. Now we can start to do some fun stuff. So let's spin that one that way. Turn that one that way. Turn that one that way. Here we go. And got to get these all. That's no good. That was going okay the first time. But then that one's not unlocking. So then that does need to go that way. Ah, there we go. And does that one need to unlock? Yeah. That's kind of circular. We need it to go back this way. But it'll only... Okay, there you go. Does that do it? It does, as long as you flick that back up. There you go. Perfect. And then here, it's this one. That's locked. Dagnabbit. Okay. So there's another one here somewhere that I need. Bypass this. Let's try this one. No, that's got to come that way. It's a massive puzzle, this one. I don't think it matters though. if it goes that way or not. No, because it feeds it anyway, and that sends it in all directions, so that's fine. Just follow that one around for a second. Here we go. So let's rotate this and see where it sends it. Nowhere, because that's locked, so we need to send that back and then unlock it down here. Let's try this. There we go. That's looking more promising. Then we can unlock this one. And okay, don't know that that's solved anything. We need the energy. Why is the energy not? Why is it stopping as if it's sending it back up there? Which it clearly isn't. Okay, let's send it downwards. There we go. Right. Then we can unlock that one and flick it around. It's got to go, it can only go one way, so that goes around there. But does that actually do anything? That doesn't. See, I think that's just the same. We need it to come down to the floor here, I think. That's still locked. So how can you do that? Because unless the energy is coming down, is that what we have to do? Send that to the floor that way. Then we can unlock that one. Spin that around. There we go. That was probably all we needed to do that, just to unlock that one. And then we can unlock this one. Now this is starting to look promising. Pretty much achieved. Let's remind ourselves where we have to go. Up here, I think. And then inside this little hatch. Almost, but no cigar. So we've still got, let's follow the route here. Let's just take our little spider through here and see, just to remind ourselves, this is the one here that we need to unlock. So after all that, that goes that way. This rotates and Bob's your uncle, which is another little London phrase. That's definitely done it now. What? Oh, yeah. Yay. And now we can hack it. Ta-da! Now, I haven't got control of this camera, but what I will do is skip it because I don't want to give you guys any spoilers more than I'm giving you. And I don't know what she's about to do. So I have to leave the area. Luckily for us, we have a drone. Can I jump up on it? No. Hijack it first. Drop it down. There we go. And now we've got the transport we need to make our way around London. I have one viewer, so whoever you are, thank you very much for sticking with me Otherwise, it'd be very lonely. I think you can also, there you go, yeah. So you can just have the camera for the drone. There's a camera that's meant to be like a camera hung underneath, strung underneath it, so you can use that. You can zoom in out, I think. Let's have a look. No, just go up and down. Pretty cool though. As I say, it doesn't go very fast. Whoops. But having said that, if you're in a car, it can take you a lot longer if there's traffic. That's St Pancras, which is either, well, it's a tube station, but I think it's a hospital. I'm not 100% sure. In real life, I mean, there's a tube there. So it's just a train station, I think. A big train station. There's King's Cross. There's another big London, obviously London, silly boy. Big train station, King's Cross. It's pretty cool because it actually tells you down the side. And you can ping, it's ping. And when you ping, it highlights anything that you might want to go and investigate. And what was next on our missions? Let's have a quick look. Initiate sequence, gap in the armor. It's all the tech. We've unlocked a lot of it, and we've got 25 of those little diamond shaped things there, so we can buy most of the stuff that's here. I haven't bought much of it, to be honest, because I always think when you start these games and then there's stuff that you can buy, I always think to myself, yeah, but I wonder if the other thing, which you need a fair amount of this to unlock, is kind of turns out to be invaluable just down the road. So I don't tend to. But I do fancy maybe a machine gun. How much is a machine gun? 20. Yeah, let's buy it, shall we? There we go. We bought it. And then you can go to your character. There she is. And edit. And we'll choose the machine gun. Whack that on. There we go. So now she's using that. And the bot as well, the old spider. Oh, I've got another new slot. Didn't realise that. Well, I ought to buy something new then. Now that I've got a new slot. I think I've run out of stuff. Oh no. I've got loads of it. I was looking in the wrong place. I've got 55. Right, what shall I buy? What could be useful here? Let's have a look. See, schedule and contact info exposes new ways to recruit. I mean, that sort sounds like it ought to be something quite good, doesn't it? And that's one. Reduce damage suffered by all DedSec operatives. That's got to be good, surely. But then you see, I don't think that's something you could use. It's just a thing, isn't it? It just gives you like increased armor. So this is a, what about my actual spider? Adds a cloak that can be manually activated. Oh, I like that. It's handy. Let's buy that upgrade for him. And what else here? Electro Fist. Power hits automatically arc electricity to a nearby target. Yeah, right. Well, that's it. We've done. So let's go back to our character. And where's my other stuff? View tech menu. So I don't know how you're supposed to add these things to your. I don't really want to add that. I want to add that with me let's see. So all these things are there. You can cycle through them. So I suppose I could leave that there. And then these are all the operatives that I can choose to be. So you can flick between characters. You don't have to stick with your main character. So she looks like my daughter with a great big wrench. Some of them look pretty cool. This dude, the veteran, I haven't used him yet, but he's got some pretty cool kit. Combat role. He does a combat role. Oh, I think I might just swap to him for the sheer fun of it. No, don't smell your armpits, mate. That's not good. Naughty operative. So we're going to flick to him and see what he's got to say for himself. What idiot would put a Union Jack on their face? This is he's wearing the garb that I bought for my my female character. That's so funny. The Union Jack, funnily enough, in terms of brand, isn't something you will see a lot of in the UK, because pretty much back in the 1970s it was hijacked as a symbol of the far right, and still pretty much is. It's a nationalist symbol. It's a real shame. It is a beautiful flag. And I really wish that that wasn't the case, but it is. So you don't tend to see it so much. You certainly won't see it being used as a sign of free speech or centrist policies or anything like that. They do, Deus Ex Macchiato, they do offer ray tracing, and I can show you. If you give me 2 seconds. I don't know that I've got, I don't know that I can go to settings on this because I'm using, here we go. Yep, so if I go down to video and across to quality, I've literally got everything set to ultra here, but it's only streaming at 1080. But you'll see here ray traced reflections. So you've got off. If you look at the bus to the right, there's you can't see it here, but there are puddles. So I go from off to medium to high to ultra, and I'll leave it on ultra. So yeah, there's full ray tracing, and you do see it in the game, but at the moment my character's it's kind of dry. So you see it in windows. If I find a glass window and I walk past, you'll see my reflection, or reflection full stop of what's going on around. So there you go. You can see me in there, and you can see that there's what looks like a tree. If I turn around, there is that tree. So it's full ray tracing. So it looks better in puddles and water and that sort of stuff, but it does look pretty cool. Yeah, there's a puddle, so you can see in there there's like what looks like white illuminated windows. If we look up, there's those white illuminated windows. There you go. So it's fully happening. Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, this isn't streaming on my PC, so it's it's not high quality, but it's decent enough. And to be fair, it's quite a beefy game, a bit like Control is as well. If you run Control on a PC, you actually can't switch up most of the settings on a half decent rig. It really does push the limits, and I found the same here as well. Right, what am I doing? Anyway, talking to myself. Let's have a look. So look at the old missions. Okay, so I quite like the look of this one, gap in the armor. Yeah. I mean, I've got a 2060 on my rig, and yeah, 100% it pushes it. In fact, on this I think it's a 2080 equivalent that this is using. So this dude You can see there, it looks pretty cool. The ray tracing in the puddle on the floor. It's doing a pretty good job. Yeah, look at that for a weapon. Now you're talking. What's his mask? It's pretty cool. It's pretty good reflections there as well. Don't you just love doing that? I'm not sure what that purple thing is over the back. So what happens in this game is you literally get chased by drones. So this one, but you can disable them. You can shoot them down, and you can use your tech to disable them. But if you hide, they're pretty stupid. Doesn't take them long before they lose you. Oh, hello, there's a drone. There you go, disabled. So they've lost sight of me. Let's get rid of that. I'm going to just run over that gate, I think. Yeah, this is on Ubisoft Plus. Ashes, it's good to see you, my friend. Sorry, I didn't spot that it was you. How are you? Great to see you. I would love to say that it's on Luna, but it'll be the same experience, of course. This is streaming at 1080p. This moment in time, we don't have confirmation that the Ubisoft channel will start at 4K. It's definitely coming, but my guess is it will be 1080p initially. So this is but as you can see, apart from it's probably a little bit, what's the phrase I can use? Jiggy, because of the streaming tech that I'm using. Yeah, I didn't get to watch that. I watched bits of it, and Duncan was feeding me the highlights. But yeah, I fully expect it. The multiplayer for the game doesn't launch until December anyway. And of course, it's Ubisoft Connect built in, so it's cross-save, cross-play, cross-progression, as you'd expect. Yep, it launches on Tuesday, Deus, so only a few days away. Wow, the kick on that gun. There we go. I'm literally not running in. I'm not doing anything for the story here, because I'll be coming off in a second. I'm just but yeah, it's going to be certainly this game and Valhalla. Those two are guaranteed for Tuesday, but they also have advertised it with 50+ games, so I fully expect it to have a decent back catalogue of at least the major Assassin's titles. So the most recent ones, my guess is you'll probably find the last couple of years of Assassin's Odyssey, Origin, Far Cry 5, Far Cry New Dawn, which is basically the sort of continuation of Far Cry 5. An amazing game if you haven't played it. Both of them, I really enjoyed New Dawn as well. What else have they got coming up on Ubisoft? They've got Phoenix Rising Immortals. That's scheduled for, I think, 3rd of December, so not too far down the road. Possibly as well Prince of Persia, but that's only been confirmed for PC at the time of writing. I've never run around this game and just mayhemed it. It's quite good fun. Get rid of all your aggression. Rider Republic, yep, that's true as well. Thanks, Ashes. That's coming up. Sadly, Far Cry 6 has been put back to next April, along with Rainbow Six Siege Quarantine, which is a real shame. Not that Siege is my kind of game, but I know it's a lot of people were looking forward to coming out, and that's across all platforms, by the way, not just Luna. The Phoenix demo was amazing, though. It's to me, it looked like a sort of cartoony version of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but just looks great fun. Really looking forward. I love Ubisoft. I love Breakpoint. I love Division 1 and 2. Obviously the Assassin's Creeds. Yeah, just a massive fan. Let's get ourselves out of here. Now, I wonder if I can semi-submerge this. Well, first and foremost, let's drop our cargo. Let's blow up a boat. Look at that. Loving the physics. That boat's going to go up. Kerboom. Let's see if we can get this down and make a swift getaway. But this is the thing I found. If you just head for water, you can pretty much escape every time. Right, we'll just pop it there and come and get it. But that's the thing I love about these open world free play games. You know, you can go with the script if you want, or you can just make your own fun. So just like it's like playing with your action figures, really. Your G.I. Joe, or your Barbie, whatever was your predilection. Ashes, I don't know if you spotted it. There was a big Twitch podcast earlier where the Luna guys, a couple of guys from Amazon Luna, were talking about Amazon Luna. Guess who got a shout out? Yes, you. You were mentioned. You've become famous. You've become the pin-up boy, the poster boy for Amazon Luna. See, I wonder if I put on an American accent and said I was from, I don't know, Connecticut. I wonder if I would and pretended I was actually streaming from Luna. Oh, what happened there? How weird. What the Charles Dickens just happened there? Oh no, that's a shame that you missed it. I didn't see it. Duncan sent me a message. It said, Ashley's just got a shout out. Oh, awesome. We're hoping when it becomes a more of a global phenomenon that we will attract a little bit of attention. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. So this is going to be a thing we'll do every Thursday. We'll choose a game that's either on Luna Plus or the Ubisoft channel when it launches, by which time it will have launched, or one that we know is coming up, that it is available on other platforms, and we'll stream it. We'll talk about the game, and just something a little bit different, isn't it? And then we'll keep our news. We'll keep our. Oh, look at this lot! Do you not know it's past curfew? Take that, bleeding teenagers. And and then we'll keep our powder dry for Sundays in terms of news and stuff, so that we don't give it all away. Which, by the way, as predicted last weekend, a lot more invites have gone out this week. So look out for those if you've applied to have Amazon Luna early access and you're not on there yet, which is not very many of you. Actually, Duncan and I were saying, out of all the people that we know in the community, and that's quite a few in the cloud gaming community, you're the only one we know that got early access. So it just goes to show how restricted the first bunch were. the first bunch of invites that were sent out. Now you're finished, mate. You muppet. Right, it's coming up to the hour, so I will probably call it a day. Call it a day, because of course it is still for you guys. And go back to watching CNN, which has become my addiction for these past 48 hours. I discovered you can hijack a bus earlier. I hijacked a double-decker bus and went on my little guided. Oh, what part of London is this then? Where are we? Oh, Camden High Street. Yeah, Camden High Street is actually, it's a bit of a it is quite a good place to visit, and it is kind of, I don't remember seeing big glowing dragons and stuff, but it is it's quite nice. They have Camden Market. I think it's on Sundays, which is a great place to go and pick up hooky gear. It's be a place to go and get all your pirated games. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me. It's great to see a few familiar faces, that's for sure. Talking of familiar faces, let's bring myself back up. There I am, just to prove I still exist. And yes, so we'll be doing this every Thursday. It'll be Duncan's turn next week. I have a funny feeling that he's going to be doing a game from the Lunar Plus assortment, which may not actually have come out yet, but we'll see. He may change his mind by then. But I hope you've enjoyed that. And we will, of course, be seeing you on Sunday, which is the normal time of 7 p.m. for us. I think it's 2 p.m. Eastern and 11 a.m. Pacific, but it might be 10 a.m. Apologies, I've got to get my head into this. I've been watching TV for 3 days. But either way, we'll really look forward to seeing you. And thanks for joining. And let's get them old VTs going. You know what? Without Duncan here, I'm completely lost. I am like a small boy that's lost his daddy. Take care. See you Sunday. All the best.